Quick read. Save or share if useful. Intro. Michael Saylor recently took the stage in Abu Dhabi with a bold proposal, a Bitcoin-backed banking system for nation-states. He sketched a future where countries hold Bitcoin reserves and use tokenized credit markets to offer regulated accounts that deliver higher yields than today's low-interest savings. It's a provocative idea that touches on finance, technology, and sovereignty, and it's worth unpacking. What Saylor is proposing at its core, Saylor's pitch is to reimagine parts of the banking system around Bitcoin as a reserve asset. Governments would hold BTC, use tokenization to create tradable credit instruments, and provide regulated accounts to citizens and institutions that can earn better returns than traditional deposit products. The approach leans on Bitcoin's transparency and decentralization to create a new layer of public financial infrastructure. Potential benefits. There are several potential upsides to this model. First, higher yields on regulated accounts could give savers a real alternative to near-zero interest rates. Second, tokenized credit markets could increase liquidity and enable faster, more transparent transactions. Third, using Bitcoin as a reserve asset could diversify national balance sheets and, proponents argue, reduce certain kinds of political or inflationary risk tied to fiat money. Challenges and risks. The idea isn't without major hurdles. Bitcoin's price volatility remains the most obvious risk. Sharp swings could imperil reserves, public budgets, and individual account values unless robust hedging and risk management frameworks are in place. Regulatory and legal barriers are another big obstacle. Many countries would need to rewrite laws around currency, banking, and securities to support tokenized credit instruments. Finally, operational issues like custody, cybersecurity, and crisis management would require new capabilities at the national level. Practical considerations. For this to work, governments would need clear policy goals, conservative reserve management rules, and transparent governance structures. Pilot programs and limited-scope trials could test mechanics and market response before any wide rollout. Stable legal frameworks, international cooperation, and credible independent oversight would be essential to build trust and limit systemic risk. Why it matters whether or not nation-states adopt Saylor's exact blueprint. The proposal highlights a broader trend. Digital assets and tokenization are forcing a rethink of how value is stored and transferred. Central banks, commercial banks, and technology platforms are all racing to adapt. Ideas that seemed fringe a few years ago are now part of mainstream policy conversations. Looking ahead, implementing a Bitcoin-backed banking model would be a long, complex process, but it's a useful thought experiment about how to combine the transparency and programmability of crypto with public policy goals. Expect debate, pilot projects, and slow legislative work before anything resembling Saylor's vision could go live. The conversation itself is already pushing institutions to consider new tools and trade-offs. Closing. Saylor's proposal won't solve every problem in global finance, and it creates new risks even as it promises new opportunities. Still, it's an influential push toward reimagining reserves, credit, and citizen-facing financial services. Stay curious, watch for pilots and regulatory moves, and keep asking how technology can be shaped to serve public needs. Follow and connect Twitter at @0_Simone_0 YouTube. Audiobook free. Author Ciro Ermisai. Instagram at Spartaco_94_. Explore my other blogs. Tech Trends Spins. Blogspot. Com Fitness Home Journal. Fitness Home Journal. Blogspot. Com Pet Care Inspo. Pet Care Inspo. Blogspot. Com Nomad Vibes Board. Nomad Vibes Board. Blogspot. Com Crypto Radar Board. Crypto Radar Board. Blogspot. Com Green Planet Pins. Green Planet Pins. Blogspot. Com Healthy Eats Board. Healthy Eats Board. Blogspot. Com enjoyed this episode? Share it or explore more across my channels.